Okay, now we are going to cover the individual sparring rules. To begin with, we will show you how to open the ring. And here I will show you a short video. There are 3 jury members standing behind the table and the 5 referees standing in front of the table. The 5 members include the 4 corner judges and the center referee. Then the center referee gives the command facing the jury president, Taekwondo. Once done, he walks backwards to the center and the corner judges walk towards their position. And they shall be proceeding to their seat in a clockwise manner. Following is the rules in the sparring competition. The modification is very little from the previous version. Once ready, the jury president gives the signal to the center referee, and the center referee will be free to call in the players. In the World Championship, the individual elimination and final bout will be 2 rounds of 2 minutes duration, with 1 minute break in between rounds. In case of a draw, a further 1 minute round will take place. If the match results in further draw, then the second point assigned by at least 2 referees at the same time, split second, will decide who the winner is. The following is what are the responsibility of the jury presidents. Receive the master draw from the tournament committee, records time of the receipt on the master draw sheet. Oversees that the correct category and the division is updated to the e-system and the screen display is correct according to the draw. Verify competitor's ID card as delivered by coach to jury assistant against the master draw. Liaise with the computer umpire to reinforce the importance of controlling the time and the recording of the warning and fouls. In the cases with the computer operator, it is very important for them to record all the relevant warnings and fouls during the match. As of today, the computer operator qualification have to be at 18 years of age and above, must be a ITF black belt first dan, pass the computer IUC course. So these people are not only the IT expert in their respective field, but they are also Taekwondo people with knowledge of Taekwondo rules. Lastly, liaise with the computer umpire to establish the procedure of warning and foul validation. The jury president will ensure the jury member and associate assistant are given clear instruction about the pre-staging of the following match competitors. Here I would want to reinstate how important is this pre-staging. When the competitor is called, the pre-staging area makes sure the competitors have the correct name tag, equipment is on that indicate the red and blue. If this stage is not reinforced properly, we will lose a lot of time during the competition. Communicate to the ring council that it's your personal responsibility to oversee all scoring, and that is part of your duty to ask for clarity on certain score and to give advice for various aspects of scoring. The responsibility of all position. The jury president is responsible to oversee all the jury members. As a jury president, you can ask your corner judges what's going on with the score, or the center referee what's going on with this warning or foul, but take this as a feedback, but never as a manipulation. We'll explain the duty of each position later, but it is important to mention this right now about the level of responsibility. The function of each position, the jury president, the jury member, the center referee, the corner judges, and the equipment verifier, etc., etc. Each function has nothing to do with your grade. Maybe you are 7th or 8th or even a 9th degree, but it doesn't mean that you will automatically be the jury president. The function given by the umpire committee to each member is purely based on the personal ability, experience or based on your previous experience in the World Cup and World Championship. Coming back to my point, have the confidence to stop the match and call individual or all the corner to you if you are having a query or concern. To discuss with the center referee the necessity of communications during the match. 2. Number 1, ensure match is controlled. To ensure that you wish the center referee to be open to you for advice. Therefore, you should always keep the eye contact with the center referee. To ensure that the center referee has been briefed on the insurance of the second and the third minus points. When it comes to the second or third minus point, be sure the center referee comes to you and consult what is going on next. Because upon the third minus point, there will be a disqualification. If the jury president is unsure of the operation upon the third minus point, you should call upon the umpire committee. We are here to supervise the procedure, but not to tell you what to do. Ensure that the center referee visually verify all warnings and fouls are correctly scored and assigned before recommencing match action. Be reminded the center referee should always check the screen. The warning and the fouls are being recorded properly before restarting the match. Up next, what is the responsibility of the center referee? The center referee is responsible for calling the competitors inside the ring, controlling the operation of the match, and conduct of the competitors. The center referee carefully watches the match, stopping the competition only for eclipse times of match time sensitive stoppers, infraction of the rules or safety issues. Liaise with the jury president. You should only stop the time when you are liaising or consulting with the jury president. As a center referee, it is also your responsibility to control the safety of the ring and to administrate sanction or illegal, unsafe, and unsportsmanlike conduct. Basically, whenever the center referee is in doubt, you should call Jonji, stop the time, and send the competitors to the side and make your way to consult with the jury president. Always remember to separate the player inside of the ring. Before we're moving on to the bowing procedure, there's a couple of points that we want to cover in regards to the center referee requirements. The center referee is such an important figure inside the ring. They control the face of the match, same time keeping the safety of the player, and their action could have a positive or even negative impact to the match. It is very important for a center referee to be match fit. You have to be fit both physically and mentally. You can almost compare yourself against a competitor inside of the ring, just like a football referee, because you have to keep up with the player and you have to move almost as fast as the player themselves. If you are not fast and focused, you are unable to react to the action to give certain warnings or fouls during their fast action. As they issue the sanction of each player, they has to be very fast, and they almost have to practice this action as if you are doing pattern. Because any hesitance when they issue any of the sanction will make them feel very unsure and uncertain about their judgment. Therefore, your judgment needs to be sharp and very sure. And the center referee needs to be intuitive, and you have to know when to step in to stop any safety issue or when you need to let them fight. Therefore, you need to condition yourself properly to be a center referee. Up next, we're moving on to the bowing procedure. As you can see in the sparring ring, we have indicated 4 lines. Number 1, passive line. Number 2, active line. Number 3, bowing line. And number 4, result awarding line. In the diagram here, you could also see H1 Home 1 competitor, C1 Chung 1, competitor blue, and coach C in red, and coach Chung in blue. And of course, at the corner, you will see corner judges number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Once again, you see the center referee is standing in number 1 passive 9. He is ready to start. Follow up, he walked up to the active 9. He can then call upon Hong and Chung to enter the ring. And now you can see the red boots and the blue boots are in the position in the ring. And he will ask both competitors to face the jury president. Now you see the boots are facing towards the jury president. The jury president is positioned at the bottom of the screen. And next they asked both players to face the center referee, and lastly face each other, to each other. In this moment, the center referee stepped forward in the L stand starting block, and he raised his arm, and he indicates at this as the first round. He makes eye contact with the corner judges and initiate round 1. As he says "시작," he put his arm down, which is the barrier, to indicate the match started. For the next one, what is the procedure to stop the match? In this case, the center referee says "그만," then direct both players into their corner, red and blue, Hong and Chung. Just to eliminate any confusion, when the center referee indicates "그만," both players could be anywhere in the ring. Then he directs both players into their relevant corner. As they finish the match, it's basically the reverse position. First, the competitor bow to each other, then they bow to the center referee, and last, they bow to the jury president. And then you see the center referee now is standing on the result awarding line. Then the result indicate Hong or Chung wins. You see the center referee takes one step back and raise their arm and initiate the winner. And then the center referee back off to the passive line, and the competitor can shake hands and walk towards the coach of the other player, bow, and off the match. Center referee will stay on the passive line and wait until the next match starts. Some detail to note that is when the center referee is returning to his passive line, he is actually walking backwards. So never face your back to the jury president. And now you can see Hong number 2 and Chung number 2 are proceeding towards the ring. Here you can see the hand signal and the bowing protocol in a different perspective with a photo. So once again, the center referee call in Hong, Chung, ask both competitors to face the jury president in position to ensure the command can be seen clearly, and then face to the center referee, bow to the center referee, and then bow to each other. Then he step forward into L stand guarding block and give the command "준비." Extend the arm forward to control the competitors until ready. Keep the lead arm extended to check for corner umpire, and the jury table focus with eye contact, and you raise your arm with one finger pointing up and say "유혜연," round 1, and start the match by saying "시작." As you say "시작," your arms, your barrier should always go downwards to start the match. So what is the communication between the center referee and the jury table? As the center referee, you ensure you will never have your back facing to the jury table, because you will never know when will the jury president wanted your attention. Always work in a mirror format and keep in eye contact. Always use the referee zone, allowing you to interact with the jury president. So in this slide, you see this green diamond shape is where what we call the referee zone. In other words, trying to use the 3 sides of the ring not occupied by the jury table. Try to keep the competitors between you and the jury table. Make sure the hand signals are crisp and clear so that everyone can see them. Following, we are going to share some general signal for controlling the match. Now, these are not the signal to award sanction or foul or warning. These are just the general signal for special incident. Here is a hand signal that you have stopped the match. There is no warning or foul, nothing happened, and you cross your arms and continue the match. Follow with a command gesok. Here is the warning after a competitor got out of the ring and indicating the competitor to get back into the ring 1 meter from the edge of the ring after exiting the ring. When doing so, often you will see another competitor who is inside of the ring trying to push in to gain advantage. Now here is a signal to indicate to the player, to the competitor, a way into the ring to a specific area. When initiating this special hand signal, it must be noted that with this situation, the referee must call hong or chung with good eye contact to accompany the strong hand signal. So this special signal having the two fists against each other is maybe when two competitors are not engaging to the fight prior than issuing a warning of avoiding the fight, actively avoiding the fight. Maybe you would suggest this special hand signal to ask both competitors to engage the fight. Another signal is to indicate to the competitor to listen. Maybe they're too excited or they're not listening. However, this is not a warning, this is just a recommendation. This is a hand signal for time stop, junji. Time stop for any time that you need to indicate a pause of time. This is to suggest quiet or ask the competitor not to talk. Again, this is not a warning, a suggestion to the competitor. Sometimes the competitor would like to speak. You should not allow the competitor to speak. And in this case, this is to suggest the coach to keep quiet. In this case, this is to initiate a hand signal for the coach to sit down. The coach should always be seated during the match. Now, this is a hand signal for time stop, junji, due to an injury. As this happens, this is a hand signal to send the competitor to the corner. You should always send the competitor to the corner whenever there's a situation like such. In this case, an injury. And the next scenario is sending both competitors to their coaches. In case where you need to consult with the jury president as the center referee, you should always send the competitor to their coaches. Never ever leave the competitor inside of the ring unattended. So the procedure to stop the action, in this case, to issue a warning or a foul. So you see, use your arm as the barrier. It's very important to remember, never get in between the both competitors who are fighting. Usually use your arm and your voice, project your voice to stop the match between the two competitors. And the command should be hetero, separate. The center referee directs the red competitor back to the center, hong. And this is the center referee directs the blue competitor back to the center, chung. And again, this is the bowing procedure of end of round 1. So the competitors face each other, charu, kui, and break. The center referee stretches his arms and sends both competitors to their coaches. As they start the second round, they call hong, chung, face each other, charu, kui, junbi, guarding block, and put the arm as a barrier and raise 2 fingers in the air, 이her정, indicating round 2. Extend the arm and make eye contact with the umpire and ready to start round 2. 시작 and dropping the arm down and shifting back and let them fight. Again, same thing at the end of the match. Send the competitor back to the position. Bowing procedure again. Face each other, bow, face the center referee, bow, face the jury president, and last bow again. The center referee takes the competitor's arms and waiting for the jury president to announce the results. And the jury president will raise his arm, in this case, Chung Sung, blue wins, and the center referee will step back and raise Chung's arm. The blue side wins. In the other case, where there is a draw, Dongjong, and he will cross both arms in front of the chest, and we will extend the match with the third round. Important to note that this third round, there will be no rest. It will start immediately. It will last for 1 minute. Ensure all the warnings and minus points are removed from the score before we start Sicha. And again, upon the third round, extend the arm to control the competitors until ready. Extend the hands up with 3 fingers extending to indicate Samhajon. Third round. Keep the lead arm extended to check for the corner umpire and the jury table focus with eye contact. And lastly, say Sicha, where to drop the barrier down and shift back, and let the third round begin. As I said before, the third match will be continue for 1 extra round for 1 minute only. At the end of the match, the bowing procedure to await score will be same as before. However, if we have a situation of draw, then we will have what we call the golden point, Sahurjon, which is the first point wins. The first point wins round. The concept is that the match must have been won by score in a single point. Now, this point can be scored by a valid techniques. Alternatively, this can also be a score in a negative way, with the opponent be awarded by 1 minus point through committing a foul, or 1 minus point throughout accumulations of 3 warning action. With this round, there will be no time limit for this section of the match. Preparation. It is prudent for the jury president and the ring counsel to have a very small meeting if this is the first time, on an extended period, since the first point has been used to decide the match in order to explain the process in full, especially at Song. In this very case, the umpire committee member should be present. The jury president should be ready to record all warnings and fouls as a backup. For this round, we should always prepare a backup, as the IT system may fail for this unusual situation. So the backup is always a paper and pen. This is the additional duty for the jury president, to have the backup score sheets ready. So at this point, that first point on the command of Hecho, the center referee will indicate this command for only one of the following. If the center referee spotted a potential score, wish to call Song after seeing an exchange that may result a point being scored. Alternatively, he can call Hecho if he wish to impair an infraction, warning, or foul to one of the competitors. It is the case of what came first. One thing to note, it's very important here, is what he see that come first, whether it is a point or an infraction. This is a special situation that ever since we introduced electronic score system, as soon as the golden point has been called by the jury president, there's a special button called the GS, which means golden point, and the corner judges will not be able to score. They can only indicate warning and fouls from their controllers. So they can only score as the center referee call the command Song. So the procedure goes as the following. If this is the case, the match action is stopped due to the potential score action. The jury president will open the GS button to open the controllers. At this stage, the center referee will give the command Junbi to bring them to their ready position and with their arm barrier extended. The jury president will now look at the 4 corners and give the command Song. If the corner umpire has seen a valid point, they will press the corresponding red or blue button to score. If the corner umpire did not see anything and will not push any button on the controller, and the center referee will give the command "gesok," and the match continues. If the score action was validated by at least 2 referees, the center referee will give the command "guman" and bring the competitors together and bow to conclude the match. There's nothing score, and then the center referee will give the signal nothing happened, then command "gesok" to continue. In the golden point match, again this here has no time limit, therefore the match will continue until the valid point, positive or negative, is scored. Up next we have warnings. What are warnings? Warning is the minor infractions of the rules that is called warnings. Julie. The accumulation of warning has a detrimental effect on the competitor's score, as for every 3 warnings result in 1 point reduction of the competitor's score. There are a total of 8 individual infractions considered a warning action. It is important to the competitor, coach, jury president, and the spectator alike that they know why the sanction is being given and what the sanction is that being issued, and for the purpose of the recording who is being sanctioned. In other instances, the center referee may issue other general commands that do not involve sanctions, but for the purpose of communication require a specific command to prompt an action. For the 8th warning, we have 5 official hand signals. Warning, explanation, and indication. Pretending to have scored a point by raising an arm. Attempt to influence the umpire through acting or suggestions. And there are certain hand signals that indicate what the sanction is. For this, we have a clenched fist at eye level and pull down on the chest level. Unintentional attacks to an illegal target area. Any prohibited area, both above and below belt. And the hand signal for this is to execute an angle punch. Falling down, whether intentional or not. When any part of the body other than the feet touches the ground or any period of time. The signal for this will extend both arm palms down, parallel to the floor, while lowering the body by bending. Faking an injury. Pretending to have an injury to gain or win or to run the clock down. Pushing with the hand, shoulder, or body. Using the hand, shoulder, or body to create distance, unbalance, or relocate the opponent. The hand signal for faking an injury and pushing is to execute an outer forearm inwards block. Intentionally avoid sparring. Running away, evading the opponent, or using the center referee as a shield. Adjusting equipment during the bout without the consent of the center referee. Attempt to delay time or any manipulation of time. Stepping completely out of the ring. 2 feet must be completely out of the ring, or 1 foot out and the other off the ground. Note, this rule does not apply when the competitor has been forcefully pushed with the hands or body out of the ring by another opponent. Here you see my example here. Hong is trying to dodge a kick that comes in. One of his foot is already on the red mat. The left foot, however, are still considered being inside of the mat. And the next moment, as he lifts his left foot, then it's considered as out of ring. This is when the center referee will call Hecho and give the sanction of out of the ring. And the hand signal for out of the ring, stepping outside of the ring, intentionally avoid sparring, adjusting equipment without the center referee concerned, draw a line from center to chest to side, a motion like flat fingertip thrust to a knife hand strike. Following up, we have fouls. Fouls are any infraction of the rules which breaches competitor safety and breaches the competitor's sportsmanship and ethical conduct during the match is categorized as foul or gamjeon. Due to the seriousness of these infractions, a competitor is only allowed a maximum of 3 per match. and there are 6 actions that are considered to be categorized as foul. Of these 6 foul, there are 3 official hand signals. Number 1, attacking a fallen opponent. Attacking a competitor when any part of their body other than the feet touches the ground of any period of time. The action for attacking fallen opponent is execute a low front snap kick. Leg sweeping. Any attempt using the feet to take the opponent to the ground. The action for leg sweeping will be executing a sweep kick. Intentional attack an illegal target area. Targeting and/or contact to any prohibited area, both above and below belts. Unsportsmanlike behavior. To include any action by the competitor that shows disrespect, lack of following direction, or other unacceptable behavior towards the umpire, other competitor, or officials, including, though not limited to, fail to refuse to follow referee directions, intentionally leaving the ring, manipulation of time, inappropriate behavior, language, etc., etc. Heavy contact. Contact made to an opponent without any attempt to control or retract. The techniques, the delivery of techniques of the emotion of the competitor, holding and grappling, retaining any part of the body. The hand signal for heavy contact, holding or grappling, intentional attack to an illegal target area, unsportsmanlike behavior are all executing an angle punch into an open palm. This is the hand signal for issuing the following fouls. Definition of heavy contact. In the ITF sparring competition, you do require contact in order to score. The definition between light contact and heavy contact as follows. Light contact. Any interpersonal contact during sparring competition, whether intentional or not, that is executed with care, control, sportsmanlike behavior, and attempt to control and retract the attacking tools, and does not result in the excessive replacement of the opponent's body or head. This contact is deemed acceptable and does not result in either a warning or foul being issued. This amount of contact is neither intent nor like to cause damage or harm the opponent. Heavy contact. Any interpersonal contact that is administered with emotion, aggressions, malintent and/or a loss of control, or any techniques that is executed without an attempt to control or retract the attacking tools, and/or that causes the opponent's body, head or torso to be displayed more than acceptable for the situation. The violation of the rules result of foul being assessed against the offender. As a center referee, you have a duty to control the match. When you issue any hand signal, the process should be: stop the match, indicate what is the infraction and penalty is, indicate who received the penalty, don't step between the competitors, look only for safety and violation of the rules but not for points, try to stay 2 meters away from the competitors, call all warning and fouls but restart the match as quickly as possible. Therefore, do not run the clock down by talking to the competitors, taking too much time. Use time stop as a tool to preserve match time until competitors compile. Here is an example of the procedure. Issue warnings and fouls. Referee stop the match by commanding hecho. The action is extending arm but not necessary between competitors. You just project your voice and get their attention. Keep your action crisp and clear. Issue the warning and fouls. Follow with the action, in this case, intentional attack to an illegal target area. If referee step back, indicate the recipients of the sanction, release the other arm, extending the arm circle to designate a foul. Gamjun hana. After you do so, referee direct the competitor to back in ready position by putting a guarding block L stance. Put your arms out as a barrier and raise the arm, and with the command gesok, arm goes up, and continue the match. The next section will be about corner judges. The requirement for the scoring definition: only score what you actually see land on the target. The techniques that hits the target can only be a legal score if it was executed correctly, dynamic, controlled on the target. A point cannot be scored if the technique's energy allows the competitor to lose balance or touches or fall to the floor directly afterwards. The controller will stay open 2 seconds after the main time has stopped, so final score. Remove of a score can be made. A point cannot be scored if it has leverage from a previous foul or warned action. That is to say, for example, if red kicks low, then follow through with a punch, and the referee stop the ball and give the warning to red for the low kick. If a point is scored by home, then followed by a warning to home, the score must be removed by pressing the green button. However, if the referee does not issue a warning to red or the low kick, then the point is legal. Therefore, the center referee needs to have a sharp observation and reflex skill to see and respond. As for the corner umpire, needs to have sharp observation and reflex skill to see and score, or see score, then in certain incident, remove the point. The scoring procedure: you need to make contact in order to score. Any interpersonal contact during the sparring competition, whether intentional or not, this is executed with care, control, sportsman-like behavior, control and retract the attacking tools, and does not result in an excessive displacement of the opponent's body, head or torso. This contact is deemed acceptable and does not result either a warning or a foul being addressed. This amount of contact is neither intent nor like to cause damage or harm to the opponent. Score value: 1 point will be awarded for hand techniques direct to mid or high section. Hand techniques while in the air, both feet must be off the ground direct to mid section or high section. 2 points. 2 points will be awarded to foot techniques direct to mid section and also a jumping or flying kicks direct to the mid section. 3 points. 3 points will be awarded for foot techniques that direct to high section and also jump or flying direct to the high section. Target area: the target area is front of the face, splitting line from the ear and forward, excluding the neck, and front of the body, waistline and above. These are the permitted area for scoring points. Non-scoring area: these include from shoulder to the hand, so you will not get a score or warning from hitting this area. Prohibit area: that will result warnings or foul. That is the entire neck, back of the head and the back, and from waistline downwards, front and back of the body. Scoring anticipation: it is important that, like pattern in the corner umpire can, to a certain extent, anticipate when the points are likely to come. Punches are usually done in multiple and not single, so practice watching and click for 3 times. Punch burst. Lead leg side kick under guard, followed by a high turning or downward or hooking kick. Punch sequence that can be followed by escape or moving backwards, moving away and do a back kicks. Kicking where disengaging after the step can be followed with punches on run. Like pattern, you need to keep up to date with the sparring sequence. Scoring problem: all problems that result in score, warning, foul not appearing on screen must be dealt with at the time. Corner referee must have the confidence to stand up to alert the jury president or center referee to stop the match. If the jury president has an issue with the match controlling, he would indicate time stop to the center referee to stop the match and also call forward. In this incident, the jury president will call the umpire and the center referee to the table to discuss the issue. Umpire rotation: corner referee should rotate one position after every 4 matches to allow a better viewing perspective and to allow limbs to move around a bit. Here is a diagram for umpire rotation. Center referee should rotate to ensure the neutrality between matches athletes. Rotate every 2 to 3 matches to allow for rest and maintain focus. Exchange position with formality and protocol. Here is a diagram for center referee rotation. Umpire neutrality: A major aim of the championship umpire pool selection is to create a balance of continent and country representation. The championship pool is further divided as adequate as possible, access all the operational ranks, and within all the skills and set adjustments. A part of score well philosophy are the umpire committees strive to ensure the scoring umpire neutrality. This is achieved by having, where possible, match neutral or match balance. Center referee will be, in all cases, match neutral. And this concludes the sparring presentation. Here I will have some example of the fast-paced sparring session, viewing it from the corner judge's point of view as well as center referee point of view. Try to spot legal and illegal points and warning and fouls. Good luck. Scoring techniques have varying levels of energy and timings. Come from all different angles. Confirm that they landed. You may see techniques but cannot 100% confirm that they landed. Here is an indication of green techniques that score seen by umpire, orange techniques that not fully clear to umpire, and red techniques that's hidden to umpires.